Hello everyone and welcome back to Move Daily Fitness. My name is Stratton and for today's workout we're going to be hitting our full body. So we're going to have a little bit of everything today. Upper, lower, some abs. We're going to put it all into 3 different circuits. Each circuit's going to be done for 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds in between, and then we repeat each circuit 3 times. For the workout today you're going to require that variety of dumbbells. Here's the dumbbells that I'm using, but as always lift within your own abilities. I'm also going to be using a bench. However, if you don't have one of those, I'll show you modifications for that as well. I'm going to start you with a warm up. We're going to end with a cool down today. And hey, don't forget, I've got a high protein playbook. It is 128 high protein recipes, so you'll never not know what to make for a long time. You can get yours by clicking or tapping the card at the top of the screen or checking in the description below. But for now, let's do this one and move daily. Okay, let's warm things up here. I'm going to use a resistance band near the end. If you don't have one, you can just skip that part. So, we'll start off with some arm circles. And go the other way. Good. The other arm. And the other direction. Good, let's go some front and back arm swings. And some torso rotations. Good, I'm gonna actually we'll do the resistance band at the end. Brace yourself up against a wall and do some leg swings. Bend that knee and do some hip rotations. Good, move on to the other leg. And bend that knee, do some hip rotations. All right, let's grab that resistance band. Holding both ends, do some pull aparts. Good, bring that band above our heads and bring it down below the neck. Alrighty, very good. There are our first 3 exercises. You can grab those dumbbells, grab a bench if you got one, and join me back. All right, let's start us off with some reverse lunges. I will hold my 20s here to start. We're gonna go alternating reverse lunges. So one foot's gonna be forward. We're gonna have all that weight on the front foot. Bring that back one, back, weight on the front foot, driving through the heels, alternating legs. Slow control, brief pause at the bottom. We're gonna move to our bench to do a chest press after this. If you don't have a bench, you can just use the floor. Good. I'll hold my 30s for that chest press. So remember, we want to try and keep that lower back planted into the ground or onto the bench. And wrist at a 45-degree angle. Bring that weight to our armpits, briefly pausing at the bottom and working our way up, squeezing at the top. Slow control on the way down. We don't want to let that weight drop. We're gonna head down to the ground for leg raises. Good. Head down to the ground for leg raises. Get ready and work. Good, all right, back to the top. Round 3. With those reverse lunges. I'll hold 25s. Get ready. Drive through the heel. Slow control on the way down. Good. All right, back to that chest press. Sticking with the same weight. Remember, it's very important for the chest press that we're not flaring our elbows out. We want to keep those elbows not almost tucked in, but at a 45-degree angle. Good, back to the leg raises. Down to the ground. Very good. Back to the top for round 3. Gonna be holding my 25s for that reverse lunge. Get ready here. And we work. All right, into that chest press. And work. All right, down to the ground for the leg raise. If you want to take it up a notch, you could put a light weight in between your feet. Work. All right, good work. Put those weights away. Grab a schlucks of water. There are your next 3 exercises. Join me on back. All right, first things first is a elevated front squat or elevated goblet squat. I'm just gonna use the handles of my hex dumbbells. You could use a plate, like a 45-pound plate or something. I've got my 35-pound dumbbell. This is gonna really focus on those quads. Squeezing at the top, slow all the way down, drive through the heels. This is also gonna take a lot of the pressure off of your lower back if squatting is something that hurts your lower back, and put more of that weight onto your quads. We're gonna go into a pullover coming up, dumbbell pullover. I'll hold this 35-pound dumbbell. If you don't have a bench to do these on, you can just do them on the floor. Here we go, all the way down, get that good stretch, really feel that stretch in your lats. Come up to right around your forehead level. And we're gonna be using our bench or the floor for the next exercise, which is a lying tricep extension. Good. Set that aside. I'm gonna hold my 20-pound dumbbells for the tricep extension. Here we are, my wrists are in a neutral grip. My elbows pointed to the ceiling the entire time, coming down to my ears, and I'm rotating my wrists at the top. I feel like I get a better squeeze when I do this. That's the way I do it. Briefly pausing at the very bottom of the movement, just to make sure you get the biggest stretch possible. Good, all right, back to the top for that goblet squat. The heels elevated goblet squat. You can also do a front squat if you wish. Just hold 2 dumbbells up on your shoulder. Get ready. And then we work. Good, back to the pullover, using the same dumbbell. Get ready. Good. Going into that tricep extension, holding my same 20s. And work. Good. All right, back to the top, round 3. Into that elevated goblet or front squat. There we go. Good work. Going back to the pullover. It'll work. Good. All right, let's go into that tricep extension to finish off the circuit. And work. Good. Alrighty. Whew. Let's put those dumbbells away. Grab another schlux of water. Whew. There's your next 3 exercises. Grab those dumbbells and join me back. All right, starting us off here, we're gonna use 35-pound dumbbells for an RDL, a Romanian deadlift. You'll notice here how I've got my benches on a slight incline. We'll be using that for an exercise. So stand, feet shoulder width apart. Push that butt out. Keep those knees slightly bent. Feel that real good stretch in your hamstring. And keep those weights close to your shins all the way down. We're gonna go into a little raise variation, shoulder raise variation coming up. We're gonna do a front raise, lateral raise, and then hinge at the waist for a reverse fly. One after the other, after the other, after the other, in one exercise. If that makes sense, I'll show you. I'll show you. Here, so I'm gonna grab my 12s, and we're gonna start up, palms facing up, us, go up, arms to our side, go out, hinge at the waist, go back, and repeat. So here we go, up, arms to the side, out, hinge at the waist, back. Good. This is a real shoulder burner. And we're gonna use this slightly inclined bench for an incline curl. If you don't have an incline bench or bench that inclines, you can just give me a standing curl. Oh, how are those shoulders feeling? Whew, they're on fire. Good, so I'm just gonna use a lighter weight for this. I'm gonna grab my 15 pounds. And if you're on your incline, you want to keep those elbows pointed straight to the ground with your shoulders back. Really lean into the back of that incline and come up. Try not to bring your elbow up. Try to keep that elbow pointed at the ground and just curl. if you're doing it properly, it should feel significantly harder than if you were to just do a regular curl. That's why I'm using lighter the weight. Good. Let's go back to the top with round 2. I've got my 35s again for that RDL. Get ready and work. Good. All right. Grabbing my 12s again for that raise variation. Get ready. So up, in front, down to the side, and out, hinge of the waist, and back. Good work. All right, incline curl, back to the 15s. Get ready. Good. Back to the top. Round 3, ladies and gentlemen, third and final round. Go back to the RDLs. Get ready. And work. Good work. All right. Back into that raise variation. I've got my 12s. And work. Good work. All right, going back into that incline curl. Last exercise, everyone. Let's push, push. Get ready. And work. Doing good, we're about halfway. In 3, 2, 1, and done. And you have moved daily. Moved daily. Yes, that one. Whew. All right, join me for a quick stretch if you can. Alrighty, good work everyone. Let's stretch things out here. I'm gonna bring that arm across my chest. Question. I've been using a rosemary hair oil in an attempt to grow my hair back before I touch anything else. Let's bring that other arm across the chest. And in doing so, I spilt some of the oil, it's rosemary and castor oil, on one of my shirts, one of my brand new tank tops. How do I get that out? Let's bring that arm above her head. I threw it in the washing machine as soon as it was done, or as soon as it happened. I did it on the cold water setting though, so it probably wasn't the smartest move. Move that other arm around your head. But, so anyways, long story short, it's in there now and it didn't come out. So how do you get it out? Help. I saw something about Dawn dish soap. Does that work? What worked for you with oil-based? Let me know. Bring that leg, stretch out that hamstring, which is too bad because I had only worn the shirt once, the tank top once. And then that happened. Also, about the rosemary oil, has anyone tried it before? Does it work? I saw on the Amazon reviews, let's grab our foot here and stretch out our quad. It said on the Amazon reviews that it works for growing hair back, but I don't get it. I'm not a big naturopath person, so I don't know if it works. I don't know if the reviews are bots or not, but does it work for you? Let me know. Let me know. All right, that is it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next workout.